Rundown.
Well, joining us live is Davis Fang, who is in Sydney, Australia. Well, he's meant to be in Sydney, Australia. He's disappeared. Have we got him? Are you there, Davis?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well. Oh, you've appeared. Very good.
There we go.
You were just computer
I think
code.
that's working.
Oh, very good. You were computer code for a minute, but you're looking much better in real life. Very good of you, to join us. Let's start, shall we, with the iPhone, one of the biggest, if not... I mean, I was talking about the iPhone the other day, in fact, yesterday, I think, saying just how extraordinarily expensive a new phone is. But let's talk about the iPhone 15. What's going on? There are leaks abounding.
Yes, so it feels like it was just yesterday when the iPhone 14 Pro came out. Obviously, that was only 2 months ago. But already we are hearing rumors about the iPhone 15, and there are so many of them because this is going to be a year where everything changes. So firstly, not only is the phone going to be made out of titanium now instead of stainless steel, titanium something that Apple has been experimenting with a lot over the past few years, especially on the Apple Watch Ultra. But it means that we've got to remember, titanium is 40% lighter than stainless steel, which means that the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which currently is at 240 grams, will be a lot lighter for the 15 version. And also, not only that, I'm most excited about this change. Instead of having a really blocky, unergonomic shape, wait for it, Apple is going to have a curved back, just like on the iPhone 5C from 10 years ago, which will make it a lot more comfortable to hold. That's not a big change, but it would make it very lovely to hold, just like this phone over here.
Rennie and I just looking at each other like not understanding what you're saying. What? So a curved back is going to make it easier to hold?
It's going to be curved, yes. So currently, you know, it's quite uncomfortable to hold because it's such a blocky shape. And now they're going to curve it. Oh. You know, how's that for innovation?
Well, for another $500,
exactly.
I should think. Right, so basically, and do we know anything about processor speed or anything like that?
Obviously, we do know that Apple has the fastest processors on the market right now. We don't really know what they're going to do for next year, but we can expect maybe a 15-20% improvement, which will still make it comfortably faster than the competition.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. I think most excitingly, though, for me, is that they're removing all of the buttons. So instead of having physical buttons that click down, they're going to be haptic buttons that basically get feedback through a vibration, a bit like the home button on the iPhone 7, which means that it'll be more waterproof than ever.
Wow.
I just want it to make calls and send texts.
Rennie just wants it to work.
Very exciting, nonetheless.
So actually, I had a problem with a rogue button on my phone this week. I had to get Tom, the producer, to solve it because
he's young.
He's young. I mean, I'm like, why has this thing appeared? And I'm then chasing it around the screen the whole time.
I'll just give it to Alice when it's breaking.
I know. The whole thing's ridiculous. Oh, right. Okay, so that's Apple. Thank you very much indeed for that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm really interested in this because Tesla, for a long time, has been talking about autopilot, the fact these autonomous cars are coming. They've been coming for a long time. They're not quite here yet, but maybe they are.
Yeah, so since 2014, since the launch of the Model S, really, Tesla has been talking about the future, which is autonomous cars. So you've been able to purchase an autonomous package, which has been up to, $15,000 at some points, or currently it's $199 a month. Finally, you can, everyone in the US at least has access to full self-driving. There's no longer any tests that you need to pass. There's no questions that you have to answer. Everyone has access as long as if you spend $200 a month or $15,000.
So just in terms of this, so I know a little bit about this, but at the moment, certainly in the UK, it gives you an indication as to what it's going to do and whether it's going to change lanes. You have to empower it and you have to indicate, and then it will do it. So there is this sort of driver assistance. So what does this actually achieve? So does this mean, do you still get the bleeping that goes on with it, or does it just move lanes on its own?
Yeah, so what you're talking about right now is just a standard autopilot, which does have some automated features. But this is the full self-driving that Elon has been teasing for almost a decade now. So basically, you'll be able to, it will recognize, stop signs and stop automatically. It will recognize, when you want to change a lane and when to turn from an intersection. It's very impressive. But despite this, Tesla are being investigated by regulators for certain issues like crashing into stationary emergency vehicles. This is obviously new technology that needs to be fixed, but nonetheless, it's quite exciting.
It's really exciting. So obviously that's North America. They'll roll it out there first, and actually many of their roads are much easier to navigate because they're just long, straight roads. But just in terms of the rest of the world, is there any sense of a rollout? I mean, to the UK, to Australia, for example?
I believe it's very much dependent on local laws, and at the moment, the US has the most attractive laws for autonomous cars. I'm sure it will be introduced to other markets relatively soon, though.
And also here in the UK, I know they're looking at and changing the law here on autonomous vehicles as well. I mean, it is really fascinating, and I mean, this would be if I'm right, this would be the first fully autonomous vehicle, wouldn't it?
Yes, to be sold to actual consumers, I believe so.
So you see, because I'm old, dinosaur, I actually think it's quite sad that my daughter probably will never drive a car.
Why is that sad?
Because I think it's really exciting when you get to 16 and you learn to drive and you pass your test, and the first day that you go out on your own driving a car.
No, that was really fun.
Yes,
really
I concur
loud
with
music.
that.
Yeah, with really loud music. No, it's brilliant. Yeah. No, I hear you. But there again, you could say the same thing about, we had manual gearboxes. Now, the kids don't really do that, do they?
Well, I've never understood why people have manual cars. Well, why would you?
Because they were much cheaper.
Well, my son loves them. You see,
weren't they?
My son thinks if you're a true driver, you want a manual car,
Yeah, well, you are a true driver. But I don't have a manual car now because it's too much like hard work. So that's all very exciting. So we'll wait to see what happens with Tesla here in the UK then. Thank you very much indeed for that. Now, also, let's move on because I'm a little bit concerned about this. Folding phones. Are they the future?
Yes. So we did talk about folding phones last week, and during the past week, I've actually acquired the latest Motorola folding phone, which is very exciting. This is the Razr, and we've got to remember, though, folding phones are nothing new. They've been around for over 4 years now. Samsung's probably the most popular in Western markets, with Motorola making, some progress in that field as well. But what's really exciting is that the Chinese are finally going to release their phones in foreign markets. Most notably Honor, which is the sub-brand of Huawei. They're going to introduce the Honor Magic VS, which is a folding phone with a 7.9-inch display, a bit similar to a Galaxy Fold. What's quite interesting is that it's going to be rated at 400,000 folds, which means that you can fold your phone 10 times a day for up to 10 years. So hopefully it will fix some of the durability problems that we've had with folding phones in the past. And quite attractively as well, it's going to be priced at around £1,000, which is relatively affordable as far as foldable phones come.
And so
maybe 2023 is going to be the year of the folding phone.
Why do I want a foldable phone?
I think mostly for fun, because I've been playing with this over the past week, and, it's just really exciting being able to open and fold your phone. It just makes a really nice snap. Just listen to that.
Maybe, David,
why would you not want that?
Hang on, let's hear it again. Renee ruined your folding noise.
All right, 3, 2, 1. It's quite satisfying.
So you're basically spending £1,000 for that? Is that what you're saying?
And it fits in your pocket more easily. So if you've got small pockets, looking at you women.
Well, we don't have pockets. We have a handbag.
So
that's true. I hear that mini handbags are in.
They are. We talked about that on the tour. They are. And also in your handbag, you can get anything in
exactly.
there. It's like Mary Poppins. She's got a standard lamp in there and everything. A sofa. You never know what's coming out of that handbag. Okay, so you think they'll take on, people... whatever.
I think not necessarily take over, but if we remember, 15, 20 years ago when flip phones were a big thing, I think they'll just be another choice in the market. Because obviously these are not as durable as a normal phone. They're not quite as nice to use. There'll always be a market for a normal slab phone, I believe.
Okay, brilliant. And then one quick story, which is about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, there were really big problems with these, weren't there, to do with bad performance?
Yeah, so Pokemon Scarlet / Violet is obviously the new Pokemon game that everyone's really excited about.
Can you just explain to Renee what it is?
You play it on your Nintendo, like this one over here. Okay. But the problem is that while it's got so many issues, it's got frame rate issues, it's got terrible pop-up, hilarious bugs like arms and heads rotating like helicopters. It's actually become the best-selling game for Nintendo of all time. It sold over 10 million units in just 3 days, which just goes to show it doesn't matter what sort of unfinished pile of dung Nintendo pops out, it's going to sell like crazy. And I'm just concerned for the future, really. These kids are, growing up playing these terrible, unfinished games, and it might just ruin their childhoods. Probably not, but you get my point.
I get your point, Davis. Always such a pleasure to talk to you there in Sydney, Australia. That's Davis Fang, who is our tech expert. What did you say?
Bye, Davis.
Bye, Davis. Was that all you got to say?
That is. I'm lost for words.
Are you?
Yeah.
I love the fact you were like, what is that?
What is it? And, if that's what he's worried about children, he needs to go and have children.
He needs to meet some small children. Yeah, no, absolutely right. They're more likely to sort of eat the foldable phone, aren't they?
Yes. Drop it down the toilet, test it.
Exactly. Juggle with it, yes, etc. Right, so that was Davis Fang, our tech expert there in Sydney, Australia. Now, it's time for a